All right, hold on a second. I'm going to get some things going here, make sure I'm up and going live. Hopefully the internet's a little better than it was last week. There we go. Ooh, we're going to have some weird, light because, it's a different time of the day. Thank you. This is Tara with Tarabeth Stamps. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in mid-Missouri. And sorry about the lighting. I should have checked that before I started. Since I normally do it in the evening, it's not very light in here. So I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in mid-Missouri. Hey, Rosie, thanks for joining. If you pop on, give me a shout out. Let me know you're here and where you're from. If it's your first time watching. And thanks for joining me at this odd time. So normally I do 7 p.m. on Sunday night Central. But tonight, because of the big game, I decided to go a little bit early. Today we're going to do another fun fold. So this is a double flap birthday card using the By the Bay stamp set and bringing back Wave of Inspiration that's in the annual catalog. So I've got a couple of different things going. So let's get started. All right. So the first thing I was going to tell you is this is the By the Bay DSP. So this is available in the new mini catalog that's going to be available from January to April. So this has 48 sheets, but 12 different designs. And so this is what the DSP looks like. It's stunning. I think if I had to pick, this would definitely be my favorite set of paper. So there's one side, and then I'll flip it over and show you the other side of everything. You can see this side has a lot of gold foils. Hey, Amy. Hey, Susan. Thanks for joining. So lots of gold foils, some metallics in there. Some of the designs are exactly the same. You're just looking at different colors. Like there's this one that doesn't have the foil. You have this beautiful grain piece that can do so many things. So the great thing about this DSP is, hey Karen, thanks for joining. You can pair this with some older stamp sets that you might have without spending so much on the bundle. Although right now with Celebration, it's a good time to do that. So that's exactly what I did today was I brought back the Wave of Inspiration stamp set. And then I'm using a little bit of the Seaside Bay and then something fancy. This is a perfect sentiment stamp to have beautiful fonts. And it's great for everything. You've got thank you, you've got congratulations, you've got sympathy, you've got birthday. Just a perfect for a wedding. This is just awesome to have. So this is a great go-to set. So let's start out by doing a little bit of stamping. And all these measurements will be available on my blog tomorrow, and that's going to be at www.tarabethstamps.blogspot.com. So I am going to, really wish that light wasn't like that. I'm going to ink up my sand and seashells from the Seaside Bay set. So this is just this little stamp set here. So you've got little grains of sand and you've got your seashells, and this makes a beautiful border on the bottom of any card. So I'm just going to stamp that, making sure to go off my paper just a little bit and create just that little sandy vibe. All these dimensions will be available on my blog tomorrow, so you don't have to write anything down today. And now I'm going to take that Grateful for Everyday Magic of You that would fit for so many things, but I'm going to use it on this birthday card, and so this is going to be the inside. Careful not to rock because this is a photo or a cling stamp, so you have a chance of getting that halo, so you do have to be a little bit careful. We'll set that to the side, and now we're going to bring out my Stamparatus. If I can find it. Whoa. All right, so I have the Stamparatus, and I already have the stamp set on this. So this is Stampin's Up repositional stamping set. So this is for your large stamps. This is for stamps that you're going to do multiples of. So this is a really great item to have in your arsenal once you've been stamping a while. So it comes with 2 magnets. You can see I have 3 because I bought some extras. So it's nice because they can be stored right back here. It's got a little foam plate that goes under there that makes sure that you can do some nice cushioning. The cool thing is you can walk it up and down. You know, if you're doing the same image a couple of times, you can set your stamps there and just do multiple stamping sets. So this is one of those advanced crafter items that you've got to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my stamp right here, and I'm just going to make sure that I've got a little bit of the wave, because this piece of the cardstock that I'm using is a little bit smaller, and I've got it, I don't have it magneted down, so let me do that. All right, so I want part of that wave to show up, but I want to definitely have enough. Oh, there's a little candy hair. Let me get that off, or leave it right there. So I want that to show up. All right, so we are going to ink this up with some Night of Navy. And ink that right on up. Bring it down and stamp it. And I want a little more ink over here, so I'm going to go ahead and ink that up again really good. All right, so there's, oops, there is that sheet. Now let's bring the envelope in since we have this going. And I'm going to go ahead and put my envelope here and ink up. Let's pull this over just a little bit because I think, there we go. Now you're going to see that this stamp doesn't cover the whole envelope bottom, but I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Hey Lisa, thanks for joining. Thanks for dinner last night. So a group of us stampers had dinner last night. Somebody was in town, so we got together. It was great to have some girlfriend time. All right, so you see that it's not covering this whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift this over just a little bit, lining it up, and then I'm going to take just a piece of scrap paper and line it up right along that edge so I'm not re-stamping anything. Just do one more. Stamp there. And there we are. So it's not lined up perfect, but it's good. It'll work. All right. Set that out of the way. Now let's bring this in. Close that ink up. And where's my card? Here it is. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll do our little pelican, I guess. Maybe it's a pelican, I'm not sure. But yeah, girlfriends got together. We were at that restaurant for several hours. I know the waitress was probably waiting for us to leave, but we stayed. It was fantastic. All right. I'm going to give him a little stamp, and then I'm going to bring in my envelope again, and I'm going to take a Post-it note and just put it right here on the edge so I can stamp my pelican on my envelope. Because we want our envelope to be just as pretty as the inside is. All right, perfect. So I'm using a little soft succulent or soft suede for that. Get that out of the way. Now I'm going to use an item that every crafter needs. I've got the blender brush. So this comes in a pack of 3. And the awesome thing about this is going to give you a marker for every color that you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to color this pelican's body. And so I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, on the video, but you can make that pelican solid just by giving it just a little bit of a brush here. And I think I bought these 3 probably 5 years ago when I started with Stampin' Up. And I'm still working on the first one. Okay, now I've got a Stampin' Right pumpkin pie marker that I'm going to color the beak with. And I didn't do this on the original, but I think I'm going to color his feet too, his little legs. All right. So the envelope's almost done. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring out the dies from, oh, I better do something else too. I'll go ahead and set this up. So there's the dies from the wave set, Wave of Inspiration. So these are just the wave dies. I'm going to go ahead and tape that down, set it aside, and then I've got a little piece of Balmy Blue. We're going to take that Night of Navy and stamp that Happy Birthday. And that is going to be from the Waves of Inspiration stamp set. So I was careful not to press down too hard because once again, this is a cling stamp, so you have a chance of making that halo. All right. I'm going to bring in my little white machine this time. My blue one was giving me a fit yesterday, so I'm giving it a break right now. All right, so this is the mini die machine that I think, once again, every crafter needs. I'm going to place that die right there along the sentiment. And if I scoot that over, I can cut them both at the same time. Let's see if I'm talented enough to do that on camera. There we go. You got to hold your mouth just right to make sure you get it all lined up. All right, no shifting. I'm going to press down to kind of keep it in place. Sorry if that shakes a little bit. I know it shakes the camera a little bit. All right, so here's our sentiment die. I'm going to put that back on the magnet, and then we have our little pelican here. And so this is going to be for the card front. Okay, so I feel like I've got most of the stamping done, so we can go ahead and get the card put together. It's a pretty quick fun fold, so not a whole lot to it. Clean that up and throw that away. All right, so we have our card front. There's the inside. That one goes together. And now I've got everything all cut out. So I'm going to pull some Stampin' Seal and mat this inside to a piece of Balmy Blue. The reason I like this Stampin' Seal is because it's quick. I don't get my fingers all messy. Some people like liquid adhesive. I use both. I've gotten to the point where I can use seal just almost as good as I can use the liquid adhesive. So that's what I'm finding I'm using more often now. Okay, so there's those pieces both matted. Here's a piece of Sahara sand that I'm going to adhere. I put that on the wrong side. Oh no. Well, what's this other side look like? So, ooh, looks like this is going to be a little different. All right. There we go. And now I'm going to use that side because I don't want it to be too much of the same. Okay, I have a mint macaron mat that we're going to put this on. And this is going to go on the back of the card. This is a piece of Night of Navy cardstock that I've already pre-scored. So we'll score that, and then we'll score this small flat panel as well. So now all we're going to have to do is assemble away. So I'm going to take my mint macaron layer, and I'm going to put it on the very back. And then we're going to put this. It's always nice to kind of have a little bit of a different card. Then you can decide which one you think is the best. Just another layer here. Making sure that we're keeping that equal edge on the outside. Now, I'm going to take this piece, this folded flap, and I'm going to carefully decide where I want it. I want it to kind of have equal sides on all the way around and seal it up. So this is going to be the second flap. Okay. We can go ahead and adhere the inside to our flap. There we go. And now we'll do our outside. We're just about done, folks. This is pretty quick. Get you off to any parties that you may be headed to. Tim and I are watching the game by ourselves here. We went and got some smoked wings, so we're pretty excited about that. All right, I'm going to bring in my paper snips, and I'm going to cut this down because I don't want all of that showing. And I kind of want it to look like it's coming right out of the water. So let's add some Stampin' Dimensionals, wherever those might be. There's some bits and pieces, it looks like. The sheet's just about done. Karen, I thank you so much. I'm glad you like the fold. It's a fun, easy one. That's what I like about fun folds, is some of them can be so easy but look so elaborate. And this is a great way to showcase this beautiful DSP. All right, so now I have some of the Starry Sky metallic that we're going to use along here. So I'm just going to kind of measure. I don't need a whole lot. Cut that. And now I'm going to take a glue dot and put one on each end. And then we're going to thread that twine, or not twine, ribbon, through, and that's going to hold it in place. So I'm just going to kind of thread this through and seal that one. And then I'm going to seal this one and then thread it through. All right. And it's okay if it starts fraying, because that's what you're going to do anyway. But it's a lot easier to fray it once it's through. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this so that it looks about the same on each end. And so the cool thing about this mesh is you can pull it apart and fray it a little bit. So it gives it a wider look. Here we go. And now we'll grab some, I'm going to grab another sheet of dimensionals because those are done. I'm going to take a dimensional or two, line them all along here. There we go. We're going to line this up and stick this on the card front. All right, now that that's set there, let's put a couple of the birds flying away, and we'll just use Night of Navy. And the reason that I'm doing it second is because I wasn't exactly sure where we were going to put that sentiment at. So that's why I'm doing it last. All right, so there's the card. Super easy, really beautiful. It's a nice way to use up some supplies that you may already have. Waves of Inspiration has been out for a little over a year. So it's great to use some of that new product with the old product, or still around product, I should say. I'm going to take a little bit of adhesive and adhere it on the back of the envelope so we can put a little bit of coordinating DSP on there. Give it a quick cut. I hope if you're spending time with family or friends tonight, you have a great time. Thanks for joining me at this different time so that I can do the same. I'm going to be rooting on the states team. Kansas City's playing tonight, so we're excited to see them play. Hopefully they come out with a win. All right, so this is today's card. Thanks so much for joining me. Dimensions and everything will be on my blog tomorrow. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Normal time, 7 p.m. Central.